Moro say that the richest place is what?
The graveyard.
You know, so I went to, we were invited, for a program. I and, I don't know if you know Joshua Jizimera, he's in Ghana, he's a drummer.
Okay.
You know, so we were invited for a program. We went there, and after the program, the guys treated us anyhow. Sorry that I'm going through this one. You know, so they treated us anyhow. And meanwhile, we were told that when we get to this place, in fact, hotel arrangement, everything has been done, you know, just come. You know, so we now got there, and we ended up sleeping in a security post.
What?
So, so it was that bad. And
Wow.
it wasn't long. I was now like, okay, who do I know in Port Harcourt? Where do I go? I now decided to visit a particular church. And lo and behold, they were like, we've been looking for you since. Then there wasn't anything like, the cell phone wasn't, you know, popular then, you know. So that was how they now told me that, we've been looking for you. Please, where are your things? Just come and start working with us. And in that church, they had PSR 640. I don't know if you...
Now the latest there.
Yeah.
Those demos.
Yeah,
and floppy
yeah.
disks.
So that was all what they had.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, if I get there, okay, it's just to just to split. By that, I got there, I now became a sound engineer. I became the, you know, when I now found out that, okay, the only thing they were using then was just floppy disk.
Yeah.
They would sequence,
Yes,
the
sir.
choir songs and everything. So that was how I started out music production. I didn't really have any idea about that. So I had to buckle up. I used to go and sleep in the church just to make sure that I understand and I sequence choir songs,
Before times.
Yes, before that was years before I ever thought of coming to Lagos. And I came to Lagos, now met Mastercrafts,
Yeah.
so we're close. He now introduced me to Tim Guthrie and his Stream Crew, As I didn't even believe in myself. I was like, guy, because the way the guy was very, very, his playing was very, very intimidating. Then, so he just said, no, come, you'll be able to cope. The first set of syncopations he wrote for me, by then it took me days before I was able, but he didn't give up. So from there, that was how I was growing. Then from there, when I now left Tim Guthrie and his Stream Crew, I was a pianist in Trem headquarters then.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what next for me? Although I was still playing some secular artists, around, but I needed that. I knew that there's more. You can't just be playing on stage alone. And before then, Massacre was telling me, guy, you need to get into this thing now, because he has seen that I have that. Like sometimes if he's doing something, I will say, why not do it this way? Why not do it that way? So, but I never believed in myself that I could even be a music producer because of his own level of proficiency. Then, those Sibo medley, syncopations and all that, So I just, I was like, this thing that this guy has been telling me about, why don't I just even try out? That was how I now just delved into music production. I started with Reason. Say, okay, let me even try out. From there, I don't want to. In fact, if I keep saying this now, we won't leave this place.
Yes,
so from there, and now, I guess I did something, and I sent it to somebody to help me mix. The person spoiled the mix and all that. That was how I still said, okay, I need to put my hand, although I'm not an authority. At least I know the basics. At least I know how I can balance my music.
Yes,
basically like that. So that's it.
Wow. I know apart from the angles that you people have described, Mr. Dunsin
Ah.
is
It's always
is
has
more of a
something.
businessman musician, you know.
Brother,
No,
it's written in the Bible.
yes,
Occupy till I come.
as
Yes, we need to hear.
yeah,
Music can be a ministry, but music business is not.
exactly.
That is where I first, had that passion for, because over time I hate to be caged. I don't like restriction. And thank God sometimes, in most cases that I've learned, the kind of mindset you have determines the kind of quality of people you attract. So if you're mediocre, don't blame God for sending mediocre people your way. Iron will sharpen iron.
Yeah.
So at some point I started getting uncomfortable with my comfort zone. I just needed that we can do this thing. Ways back before I moved into Lagos, there's nothing about any music material that I will not travel to go and get or buy, even at my own expense. Sometimes that may be the last card, but I was just developing my libraries, my stuff, even before I moved to Lagos. Sometimes Mr. Wale will ask me, so how come you know this kind of sound? I say, sir, I make research, I do. I say, wow, please keep at it. So by the time I now moved to Lagos, I was, to an extent, God has helped me to prepare for opportunities come.
Yeah.
So when I got my first gig, I started doing some stuff with Ken Corey, and it got to a point that people are like, I know the band that this guy was using before, but how come that the music was sounding different? To me, God has given me the grace to learn other genres of music, so that there's no place I get to I wouldn't fit in. Not just because fit in, but stand out. As a musician, you must learn to be a chameleon, even if you want to play any instrument. You can have major, but you must have a generic knowledge of every other genre.
Yeah.
Because trust me, by the time you leave your comfort zone, you will discover that the genre you didn't learn could be where your breakthrough is.
Yeah.
And you have successfully sold out your birthright for other opportunities for relevance, just because you failed to do this, because you always feel this is the only area you think you need to attach yourself to.
Mm.
So now, at that point, by the time I started playing that gig, I didn't play it as... there was a day me and him were even talking. He said, I like the way you think. I said, sir, I'm not playing with you. You are not doing me a favor playing for you.
Mm.
Looked at me now. Called and said, which kind of person? I said, sir, if you can do all the work, you won't need me.
Yeah.
I'm providing a value that is a vacuum that you cannot feel, that you needed me to feel. Say, I think I have the right person on board. And before then, even in a band, even in a music setting, I've always noticed that no matter how bad it is, people must have their fan base, not just for the artist, but for other people who understand artistry and musicianship, even in the team that you are working with.
Yes, sir.
So I knew at some point God gave me that discernment to quickly learn, and I have this way to really make friends with people, even outside the people that I'm used to.
Yeah.
So there was a particular gig I went with him outside Lagos. It was just like, do you know this man before? The person I said, I don't know him, but this guy is worth having, because the wealth of knowledge, the way the guy took, we just rubbed up. And I asked the guy who was the host in that church, I said, why is this instrument not here? I think if you have this thing. He said, we don't have it. I said, give me the thing and let me help you get it. I know where. It was like a joke. I was in Lagos. I was buying equipment for those guys, sending to them. I was even making money. Did they call in and saw me and I said, oh boy, are you doing? I said, yes, I'm doing some other stuff. And I said, wow. He said, I think I respect you more for that, because another side is you cannot perform all the days of your life.
Yeah.
Excuse me, because at some point you will reach your peak season. In that peak season of your relevance, there's a lifespan. And if you don't affect the wall behind, you have failed. And even when you have affected them, you still have to, probably step down and allow those people to explore while you also do some other thing that they will still respect you doing. Even if you still do the music, it's going to be on another higher level, not just as a drummer, not just as a pianist, but as a music businessman. You have endorsement, you're a consultant, you also do some other areas of business, but by the time you still sing the music, you still have your sound, your originality, that people can still look at you and respect you for, you know, who you are. And that also has helped me do some other stuff in the making, because by the time I sat down, and one time I had an encounter with Uncle Wale, we came from the same place. But there was a day I was trying to play for him. It taught me a very big lesson in my life. I said, don't sing, you know this song, but sorry, on this project you can't do it. I said, wow. He said, I have mastered my craft for over 35 years. The fact that I have access to you does not mean you have the capacity to give me the delivery I need on that level. If you have not walked to that level, even though I know you, I'm sorry you can't be up there. I said, okay. So, it can be painful.
It's hard
because you are
talk,
looking
yeah.
at a breakthrough in your front, and somebody can tell you to your face that you cannot be there. Not because you don't have the capacity, but I cannot train you as a soldier on the battlefield. You will die too early, because where you are supposed to pick the right weapon, you pick the wrong weapon.
Yeah.
And you won't know the right tactics to attack the
attack.
enemy or whoever is coming.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and I started working on myself. And I told myself, this will be the last time I'm going to rehearse or work for a particular person to come and play what I've worked for years. I said it's not going to happen. So there was a time that he uses Tosin Paul, you know Tosin Paul and someone else. Yeah. So when I came to studio one day, Tosin was supposed to record. I said, Tosin, try it. I played the song. He said, you recorded this song? I said, yes. And that gave me another song I played. He said, oh boy, you have improved. I said, I'm not done. And I did some work for one of my guys who is in Kenya. So when he now sent the song to him, he said, who played this song? It's a live drum. It's not sequence. He says, don't say, So funny enough, a man who I knew also was close to Mr. Ole. So the person now decided that they wanted to do a production project. And I said, let's play all live now. And I said, this guy can try. Let's give him a try. Bro, you know what? God now gave me the wisdom. In fact, I was lucky that I was the one they recorded last. So the song was a bit simple, I knew it was, but by the time Mr. Ole started playing the song and recording, I said, oh boy, the project now looks a bit bigger, looks a bit complicated because of a lot of elements that was in it. But I was not afraid. I kept pushing. So all the time that they were doing all those sections of recording, I scored all other elements in that music production process.
Yeah.
So which now makes me a better musician, because sometimes people play their instrument just because they look for other things to complement based on the instrument that they want to derive or what that person plays. No. Even if you are playing your major, you must think from the perspective of other people playing the roles in that particular section of music, which also helps you to know your place. And by the time you are going in, you are not a distraction to every other place. Everybody is flowing and the music is big together. So he was playing piano, he was playing, I was hearing horns, I said, well, no, wala. So by the time they finished the whole stuff, that was around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And I said, okay, don't say, yeah, let's set you up. By the time I started playing, I played almost about 11 songs under 45 minutes. Nobody believed it. And I said, do you know this song? He said, no, I just heard what you were playing. Sally just nodded his head like this. I said, I think this guy is really getting it. I wanted to now pack the kid afterwards. He said, no, you can't pack it, leave it there. There are a lot of songs I've recorded, and he now removed the drums, and you will play this thing today. Kill yourself. And actually, I played all, and it was like, wow. It was like, you have improved. When we now saw some other projects, to cut a long story short, it got to a point that it got so used to me that it would be very hard to play with another drummer or another set of musicians. That was how well I was not able to lock it down. To an extent now, if I'm not mistaken, I've played about 2,000 songs in different projects that he has done. At least some, you witness some. So I'm grateful and I'm still learning. Because now there's recent times I've done some in fact, most of the money I made last year was from productions that I did with clients that are not even in Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
Just some people just saw my work this and I started doing this offline and virtual, and I record, I send. Before I knew it, I like, oh boy, the rate of which I was now catching up in terms of production that was far faster, better, and it now even gave me a reason why this music is big. The more you know, the more you don't know and you need to know, and the more you need to cover more grounds. Because at that time, I thought about it that, what if God now blesses me or blesses someone else and takes you to a land of opportunity, and you are now regretting you didn't learn how to use Ableton. You didn't learn how to use Pro Tools. You don't know how to master DJ or connect these things. And the stupid person there is cashing out.
Yeah.
And you that knows better,
Yeah.
that had the opportunity to learn what you should learn, because you failed to come down or humble yourself to say, hey, Juba, boy, I need to have fun now. I need to learn. Because if all you have is money, you are the poorest person on earth. You must learn to leverage on relationships with people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot I don't know that I need to learn from people. That's what completes you. That's what complements you. There's a lot of mix master J knows that I don't know. And then sometimes you say, oh boy, how far this thing is? Bros, I feel this is how it got so. Do you see about that? I said, sir, this thing is too harsh. Reduce this and the compression is too. You just look at me like this. And in most cases, it takes time to study some of the things I've observed. And he looks at something because I love him for one thing. No matter how big you are, there's a lot of things you can still learn from people that can bring about the change you desire.
Yes.
So if you look down on the person, or you feel the person is not up to you, that the person cannot give you an idea or cannot say some opinion, and then probably you are not a leader, you're a tyrant.
Yeah, it's true. In fact, that brings me to a post that I made. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I said something that, so I even got some calls from you. Say, where are you getting this wisdom from? I said, don't worry, I'm still learning. I made a post. I said, the day the teacher ceases to be a student, he becomes irrelevant.
Very true.
He becomes irrelevant. I mean, because I've been thinking about it. I said, so, yeah, I know some things. I know one or two things. I mean, but, that brings me to the part of, there's this, I don't know what to describe it as. I don't know if it's laziness or what. I don't know. There's a whole lot that a lot of younger musicians, like in my category and the rest, are not doing. Because like you've mentioned, to grow takes work, takes time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, take for example, I am MakeMusicLagos 2021. I am like a testimony to this event. I've been on the team for 5 years as a volunteer, and Make Music is 6 years this year. And I've done volunteering for
5 years.
4 years. This is the 5th year, and I am a host.
Amazing.
You understand? So there are, thank you. So, I looked at it and said, well, there's more to this music thing than just going to be doing sound in a church, going to do this, going to do that, going to do this. I mean, I started developing myself also as well and all of that. Now, the thing is, we talked, I remember our Instagram live during the lockdown.
Yeah.
We talked about laziness and talked about something. Someone told me something yesterday.
Yes, sir.
He said, where are you? Which church are you now? I mentioned the church. I said, I went there as a contract person and then I volunteered for 3 months. He said, that is it. And I was like, what is that? He said, is it that volunteer thing? He said, that is where young people are not getting it these days. If you have something to offer, if you volunteer, you won't spend up to 3 weeks. They want to employ you. They want, as long as you know what you can do or what you are doing, and this was a conversation we had last night. And I started to think about it. I said, okay. He now started bringing up points. Like, he started mentioning things I've forgotten, volunteering stuff I have done in the past. And he blessed me with some cash that last night. I was like, wow. So it now dawned on me that, okay, actually, there are a whole lot of musicians that are they just want to wake up and look for money, just start to look for money. Yeah,
They will
not,
have they will have money
yes.
and they will not have money.
Mm,
This is where I'm going.
okay.
Life is in phases.
Mm-hmm.
Men are in sizes.
Yes, sir.
So what a young man will run for or run after for 20 years can take an elder 6 months to get. Not because they don't understand the concept of money or the concept of business, but when you run after money, money will run away from you. But when you chase after value and you make relationship a leverage, not because of what you want to get from the person,
Yeah.
but you have access to the person because you want to add value. That's why a lot of rich men will always decide to stay away and stop picking some people's call. As well, I had some conversations with a supposed very rich man, and he said when people have money, you have no idea of how they've gotten sweated labor of countless years in the closet before they got what they got or before they achieved their wealth or something. But because you have access to the person or you are a bit close to the person, that doesn't give you the right of which the person should now dole out. If you are not offering value, you can't have money. A loser. You would take, but what you would take would just be a tiny drop of cup from a mighty ocean. And the value to him, it gives the person access from his ocean. What to get, you are just taking tiny drop. So at some point you feel the person is wicked and you now develop a sense of entitlement mentality of it. That is not the case. When it comes to these young generations, my brother, I will say, well, the system hasn't been properly structured. I'm talking of the Nigerian system, for instance, now. You understand? Most of us, we just stumble on some things. And another thing is, our leaders, or those we met in the scene when we were growing up, quite a lot of them failed. Reason being that there was not a person or a group of people, they have also duplicated what God has given to them. Some are willing to, but look at Mr. Wale, for instance, now. I'm quite close to him. That's why at least I learned a lot of these things from him. Yeah. He doesn't need, not even if he needs me. If I'm not available, he can need some other people far better than me to get his job done by virtue of the preference and the relevance he has gained globally because he has worked for it. Yes. So I need something from him. Yeah. Even when I even need the thing from him, the thing bringing me close to him is not what I need from him. I will drop that aside. I served. There are some events he takes me, he doesn't pay me. They don't pay him either. But sometimes, even if he has the money, he will just do, he will watch. He's one of the smartest person ever.
Very.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That was how God was even able to bless Mastercraft. Let me even tell you the story. Yeah. When I got to Lagos, I went to see him in Surulere. He gave a project to Imatoki, Juicy Pro, he gave to Mastercraft, he gave to some guys. So out of the production, the one that was well valuable, like more solid in terms of preference, was Mastercraft's own. In that corner, Sonny Bobo, more people refer to your job, nice one. And one thing I love about Mr. Wale, no matter how bad you are, he will see the good in you that people don't support. That's a leader. Yeah. And they still want to encourage you. And I said, Sonny, man, this was wonderful. He gave Sonny the money. You know what Mastercraft did? Mastercraft now looked for, he has his phone number. Mastercraft now bought recharge card. He didn't have a phone then. And used all the money to buy recharge card and use someone's phone to send to him. Sonny now got he got like a recharge card voucher of like 50,000 naira those days. I'm like, who sent this thing? So he didn't even know. And Sonny had to trek. Then he was staying at Jigule. If I came to Surulere. And And bro was like, I hope you're okay. I said, bros, I'm fine. He has the money, but he trekked to the studio just because he knew that he needed something much more than what he was given. That's a very smart. When Uncle Olena knew that he was the one that did that, I was not asking him, why did you do that? I said, bros, the grace where you carry pass the money where you give me. The money go finish, but get something where I won't get. Where people know they see, but where I don't see, say, I'm waiting my life require. I say, bros, no give me anything. Make I just do where you did. Make I serve. Teach me this thing. That as in, I was like, wow, what a good way. Look at the man today. He's making waves, making millions, making waves. He's doing the biggest whatever anybody can say in terms of that hip hop. It's relevant. It's there, and it still remains so humble.
Yeah.
Because why? That's the secret, sir.
You even, sorry to cut in. You even met them when they had already gone far. Where I met them when he was still at you remember Prophecy Studio?
Yeah.
Oladibiro.
Aled.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, right.
midnight, this same massacre. That's when Ole will remember that. You remember Airport Hotel now?
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
You know that place now?
Midnight
where
food.
Yes,
that
midnight.
night food.
247.
Indomie.
Around
Egg.
that 11, 12. That's when Ole will send him and he will go alone. And he'll buy food and come. So the journey even started since. No, it wasn't even in Surulere. It was from
All right.
there that he now moved to Surulere.
Surulere.
Yeah.
You know. So at least for some time, I was able to. In fact, I was serving him this same massacre. I served him, still talking about this young, you know, like talking to young musicians now.
Yeah.
You know, I served this guy to the point that our former boss then was angry with me. That are you loyal to this guy or to me? And all
Yes.
that.
I remember that
This
period.
same guy that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like 10 years older than him. So it's not even about talking about young musician. It's not about your age.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that people really need to
Wow.
know about. This same guy, we were very, very close while we were.
Yes.
I remember very well. We were staying. We were staying in my house together. That my place where
Yes,
came.
yes.
So